Today, let's explore what Elon Musk says about the 7 types of people who will be eliminated by society. The so-called 3 to 8 theory suggests dividing 24 hours into 3 segments of 8 hours each, 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for work, and crucially, the remaining 8 hours for free and flexible use. The 8 hours of work determine our societal roles and occupational status, shaping our present. However, life beyond these 8 hours decides what kind of person we become and shapes our future. Our current life is a result of past choices, and our present choices will determine our future. The freedom to arrange these 8 hours is what distinguishes people from one another. In the past, illiteracy was called illiterate. Futurist Toffler proposes that the future illiterate are those who have the desire to learn but don't. Many are trapped in busy jobs, becoming mere work machines. Waking up to work and hastily finishing work often marks the end of the day. Living in the 21st century with a mindset stuck in the 20th, people should not just learn technical skills for employment beyond the 8 hours but entrepreneurial skills. While intense focus on job-related skills might be necessary for the first 3 months, continuing to focus solely on those after a year suggests a too comfortable lifestyle. There are 2 great sorrows in life: no longer being in love after marriage and ceasing to learn after graduation. Refusing to learn is refusing to grow. Every day should involve self-improvement, and the easiest way to do this is by learning from others. For those interested in investment or entrepreneurship, learning from friends with stock investment or business experience is valuable. Alternatively, explore suitable courses. However, when seeking advice, do your own research to verify its accuracy and suitability for you. Learning from one person is limited, so expand your network through courses or friends to meet more experienced individuals. If it fits, you might even consider starting a business together. While reading books can enhance knowledge, direct and practical experience is faster in providing real-world insights. Why do we often feel like we haven't done anything but suddenly it's time to get off work? Many times, the reason is we are occupied by various real-time and inefficient chats, unconsciously taking up a lot of time. The reason is very simple. Think about your state. Is it like this? Work, the phone lights up, reply to messages, wait for the other person to reply, attention switches to work, the phone lights up again, continue to reply, then switch back to work, and so on. Have you found the problem? What really consumes your time is not replying and chatting, but switching. You think you're working, and your time is indeed fulfilling, but in reality, it's all spent on switching. Your working memory is constantly forced to adjust to new states. The time you truly use for work, thinking, and execution is extremely limited. The most significant enemy of efficiency is not procrastination, but distraction. Your brain will be forced to stuff a bunch of fragmented information. Your state will be fragmented and shattered. Even once you get used to this pattern, it will be difficult for you to focus, because you can no longer sit still. How to deal with this situation? Find a way to turn synchronous chats into asynchronous information processing. When you start working, turn off your messaging apps, mute your phone, and try to block out external interference. Don't rush to reply to messages, instead, focus on your work. Check all messages and reply thoroughly only during each 1-hour break. In general, due to the limited peak concentration of attention, checking once every 1 to 2 hours is more appropriate. Another thing, unless there is something extremely important that requires an immediate reply, please do not make calls or use voice messages. Calls or voice messages are a self-centered practice. It's convenient for yourself but troublesome for the other person. Unless it's truly extremely important or urgent, try to use them sparingly. Use written communication or schedule a time to communicate instead. Please don't pretend to be very hardworking because the results won't act with you. What is effort? It's not spending a long time on something, and it's not necessarily being in great distress. The real effort lies in the process of turning the impossible into possible. Effort is purposeful, and this purpose often seems impossible to you, but you manage to achieve it with a lot of energy and perseverance. In the workplace, people who pretend to be hardworking usually don't know what they want. So, they work hard just to reassure themselves. They lack a clear direction for their efforts. Another reason is that they seek shortcuts, thinking that success can be easily obtained, but they end up going astray. Those who work late into the night, to the point of helplessness, post on social media to showcase their efforts. This misguided sense of achievement is actually quite frightening. The harm of pretending to be hardworking lies in getting accustomed to the vanity of praise, exchanging verbal claims of effort for compliments, seeking momentary pleasure, and only paying attention to what they want to hear without understanding the essence of things. Deceiving others is easy, but deceiving oneself is challenging. Real effort is not about competing for who spends more time or studies later. It's about wholehearted dedication, not for others to see. All those lacking initiative either lack goals or have unattainable goals. So, find your goals, break down big goals into small ones, and that's how you get the motivation to achieve them, building stronger initiative. Effort is the fairest thing in this world. Time will not necessarily reward anyone who pretends to make an effort, but it will never disappoint anyone who truly puts in the effort. People who lack discipline want to get fit, but after a few days of running, they give up. They want to read, but after flipping through a few pages of the book, they set it aside. Without discipline, how can you persist in self-improvement? If you haven't changed from 3 years ago, why do you think you'll progress 3 years from now? Can you confidently ask your boss and society not to replace you? Low-level desires rely on indulgence, while high-level desires rely on discipline. Only through discipline can you continually refine your abilities. Into the road less traveled, there is a saying, discipline is the primary tool for solving life's problems and an essential means of eliminating life's pain. When discipline becomes instinctive, those who persist in reading exude the fragrance of books, and those who persist in exercising harvest a healthy body. The level of your discipline determines the height of your life. So, here's the question, how can an undisciplined person lead a disciplined life? First, set goals that can be quantified. If you want to read a lot, set it as, I want to read 80 pages of a book every night. If you want to lose weight, set it as, I want to run for 30 minutes every day and lose 5 kilograms in a month. Incorporate actions into your goals. Also, avoid making multiple changes in the same time slot. Some greedy and undisciplined people want to lose weight, quit smoking, and prepare for an exam all at once. Willpower is limited. Focus on the most important goal. Even better, find a disciplined role model to accompany you. This disciplined person will be the whip on your journey, supervising and urging you. Another benefit is that when we follow a disciplined person, we cannot indulge ourselves. If we lower our demands on ourselves, want to retreat, or be lazy, that person will immediately remind us and encourage us to keep up with them. At the same time, in the process of following others, you can greatly alleviate your loneliness. Make friends with those disciplined people, ask them to guide you, and when you follow them closely, unconsciously, you will find that you have already come a long way, possibly even surpassing them. The more you depend on forces outside yourself, the more you are dominated by them. Excessive dependence is a kind of exploitation of others. If your leader needs to guide you from start to finish every time a new task is assigned, and you show no initiative to learn on your own, it might be better for the leader to do the task themselves. Those who depend on others will be afraid of people, and those who are afraid will certainly flatter others. Undoubtedly, an independent spirit should be a necessary condition for each of us to progress. When there is no external dependence, it will stimulate more of our potential to a certain extent. When there is no reliance on others, it can inspire us to tap into our potential. Being independent in thinking and making appropriate choices, regardless of whether the choices are right or wrong, as long as we can bear the corresponding consequences, is the essence. Sorry, the workplace does not welcome the fragile. Fragile individuals often have no issues with their work attitude and ability, but their ability to withstand setbacks is poor, and they are extremely sensitive. Any suggestion regarding their work triggers a program that leads to self-destruction. They can't handle criticism, and speaking to them always requires extra caution, adding a lot to the cost of communication. Boss corrects them, and they feel unbearable, deciding to resign. Colleagues discuss issues in a low voice, and they feel like they are being talked about, being overly sensitive. They believe that colleagues are targeting them everywhere and can't get along with them. As a result, colleagues don't like working with such individuals, and bosses don't like hiring such employees because it's too tiring and prone to mistakes. The level of your position is directly proportional to your ability to endure grievances. When we climb higher in our positions, what often awaits us is not freedom and ease but a sandwich of grievances and responsibilities. So, is there a job in the world without grievances? No. Research indicates that being fragile is not a personality problem but a problem of thought patterns. In the workplace, we should focus on issues, not individuals, as everyone is not familiar with each other. Criticisms and different opinions from others are supplements to us, not corrections or negations. When you can change your mindset and no longer see different voices as offenses but as suggestions, you can turn the initially offensive words or actions into stepping stones or driving forces for your progress. We should also lower our expectations, forgive ourselves and those around us. In both the workplace and life, our fragility and feelings of being wronged often arise because we always have too high expectations for others and ourselves. Once these expectations are not met, we experience a significant psychological gap. If you want to achieve extraordinary results, you must pay an extraordinary price. Endure, accept, grow. Even the fragile can have a day of successful improvement. Have you ever worked with someone lacking team spirit? Some individuals overly focus on completing their own tasks, ignoring the busy struggles of their colleagues working on the same project. These coworkers not only bring frustration but also impact the overall team performance. In a team, if one member is procrastinating and has an unprofessional attitude, the morale and efficiency of the whole team can be compromised. In today's job interviews, a common question is to provide an example of working in a team. This implicitly assumes that you will work collaboratively during your job and assesses if you possess a cooperative spirit. Those who don't are generally not accepted. To keep a drop of water from drying up, there's only one way: to throw it into the sea. If a person doesn't know how to find the sea and insists on going it alone, sooner or later, they will dry up. Success may seem like an individual hero's journey, but behind every hero, there's usually a team helping them level up and defeat monsters. Many seemingly solo endeavors have a team supporting them. Behind 90% of influencers, there's often a company. While going alone might seem easy, when challenges arise, it's often not sustainable and can lead to elimination. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.